My mom, Tammy Eppinger Grosso, passed away this morning. My mom started her cancer journey about 11 years ago in early 2010 when she found out that she had stage 3B breast cancer. Eventually, they gave her chemo, and that chemo worked. And by late 2011, she got radiation to get rid of that. And she also got she got, I don't know the proper term for getting your one breast removed. A vasectomy. That's what it's called. I'm sorry for this camera not focusing, but she was cancer free for quite a while. She was cancer free for about 5 years, and she pursued her dream. She became a dental assistant, and she was doing really well until she started feeling sick at her dental assisting in late 2015 or early 2016. She was in and out of the hospital constantly, and it was to the point in early 2016 when she found out that she had metastatic melanoma. And it was stage 4. They, back in 2016, initially gave her 6 months to live. As you can clearly see, she has surpassed that. And she fought so hard. She was an absolute fighter. And she fought and fought and fought, and basically that melanoma was not a major issue about 2018ish, but around the time when the melanoma wasn't becoming an issue, another thing popped up. My sister one day noticed that she had a bump on the breast that was not removed. That turned out to be the return of her breast cancer, metastatic this time, and this time stage 4. She went through many different immunotherapies and chemotherapies, and a lot of them worked for a while. In late 2019, there were no more left. She went on a hospice. But I was doing some research, and in February, I found that right before COVID hit, another therapy that may work for her was approved, and it did end up working for her. And a miracle, she got off of hospice. This chemotherapy worked for a while, up until about Marchish of this year, 2021. But before that, in January, for a while, there was about a week where she just wasn't acting right. She was arguing with me over cereal, whether it was or was not cereal. I thought that was kind of funny, but I know it was a scary sign that something really wrong was going on in her mind. She did not want to go to the hospital, but I knew it was for the best of her to go to the hospital, so I forced her to go to the hospital. And thank God she went to the hospital, because it ended up being a brain tumor. That was a big scare, but by February, targeted radiation had made that tumor inactive. But shortly after, in late March, she found out that the chemo that she was on was no longer working. She was getting very sick again. So they took her off it, and they said once again, there's no more. So she went on palliative care. And that lasted quite a while, and back in March, they gave her 6 months to live again. Around June or July, we found multiple possible clinical studies at area and some distant medical centers, and we called a lot of them, but none of them got back to us, basically. We were still very hopeful until early August, when my mom found out that she had 3 additional brain tumors. One day she was just saying that, and this was right before we were supposed to go on our trip to Chicago and Michigan. She was like, let me just go to the hospital to check up. And I was worried. she was in there for a few days, and I was home alone for a few days, and then eventually I got the call that she had 3 brain tumors. Shortly after that, she got targeted radiation again, and we don't know the results of that. We thought it was okay until about 2 weeks ago when she was once again acting weird. But this time she absolutely refused to go to the hospital, and I was just told, don't force her this time. She got out of that bad mental state, and for about a week she was okay, this was last week. She was perfectly fine. I thought nothing bad was going to happen. And then late last week, around Friday, we found out that, this was actually, last week, we found out that she has a pulse ox, and it was reading that her oxygen was in the 70s. That's not good. She was waiting a little bit because she thought it was going to go away, and I left to go to my dad's on Saturday. But little did I know that was the last time I was going to see her in a really normal state. Because that Monday, she called the ambulance, and because she was just not breathing well. And while she was at the hospital, they had to call in critical response because she actually stopped breathing. They put her on pain meds, they put her on antibiotics, and I first visited her that Wednesday, and she was okay. The doctor told me, oh, she's going to be out in 2 days, she'll be fine. She'll get over this. It ended up being pneumonia. By that Friday, we noticed that my mom was really, really, really deteriorating very, very fast. That's when I got the word from the doctor that she was probably not going to make it through this. That just tore me down. I was so angry, sad, all the emotions you could think when I heard that. I thought there was still a chance of her getting through it. But by yesterday, Sunday, it was apparent that that was not going to happen, because when we went to visit her yesterday, I came into her not waking up. I freaked out, I ran out, I called the nurse. They said that she was like this the whole time, and that the medicine was too strong. She needed too strong of meds, and that basically they were beginning end-of-life process for her. They wanted her to be comfortable when she passed away. My Aunt Missy came down from Michigan because she heard what was going on, and when she got here, she knew right away that she did not have much longer. We initially thought that she was going to maybe get a weekend, but this morning, about a half hour before I was supposed to go see her, she passed away. This was completely unexpected last week. If I were to go back in the past and tell myself last week that my mom was going to die this week, I would have believed I was lying. This is very, very hard for our family, especially for me, because I was very, very close to my mom. But at the same time, I am kind of happy for her because she's not in pain anymore. She's in heaven with God in a whole new body. But it just really upsets me because it was very, very close to her. But thank you to everyone who has been with her along this very long journey. And thank you to everyone who's been watching her videos for the past couple of years. Thank you.